Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So here's my review for The Walking Dead World Beyond episode 4, and obviously this will contain spoilers for the entire episode, so if you haven't watched it, maybe go watch it and then come back and check out my review. Unless you don't care, then let's just move on. But I guess I should also say that if you are new to the channel and you do want more Walking Dead content like this, make sure to be a subscriber. I do have a video coming out in the next half an hour, and it's on the trailer for episode 5, or I guess sneak peek for episode 5, and that is very exciting. There's a lot of information there that, I mean, if you're waiting for this Rick movie, that's going to excite you. So yeah, expect that video coming out in the next half an hour for sure. This is most likely what The Last of Us TV show is going to be like, except it would be more exciting because there would be clickers everywhere. And that's actually a thought I had. I realized that, you know what, when The Last of Us television show comes out, I think that's where zombies and things like that are going to be way more interesting, because right now with The Walking Dead, there's not a lot you can do with walkers and zombies because it's just kind of boring with it. It's you can kind of make them a little more interesting, and I think the Whisperer arc did that for sure. But I think in general the zombie genre is kind of dead right now because people just don't want to see the same old zombies. But I think with The Last of Us, when you get clickers in there and things like that, that's where things are going to start turning into this whole like, whoa, you know, it's actually scary at that point. You're in an apocalypse, because I think people like the apocalypse idea. They just want the threat to be a little more scary. And I think 10 years ago when The Walking Dead came out, walkers were a little more scary. And I think clickers will do the same exact thing. So whenever that show comes out, I do think it's going to be pretty good. We'll have to obviously see with the writing and everything like that, the acting and stuff. But I think in terms of a threat level, the clicker stuff will be a lot better than walkers. And I think tonight's episode, if there were clickers in that school, that would have been terrifying. This episode would have been amazing, because that's what it was. Like they were exploring this school. And when you think of it like The Last of Us, because there was just moss everywhere. They were stuck in a school trying to explore, trying to find a way out and this and that, trying to get supplies, I guess, and stuff. And it was a good episode in terms of character development. And it was, I guess, stronger than the last two. This series definitely, for me, I am more excited about it only because of the Rick Grimes stuff and the trailer that we got for episode 5. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's the video I have coming out very soon. But, well, not the trailer, but a trailer breakdown of the trailer. The Rick Grimes stuff and all the CRM stuff and just the impact on what it could mean for the Walking Dead universe is definitely the reason, I think, to watch this. And I think that's why a lot of people, I've seen that reaction. People are saying, why am I still watching this show? Like, I don't really care about the characters. I think it is because of that. And I don't think these characters are meant to be that liked. I mean, obviously they would want you to like them, but it's not the main purpose of the show. And it's kind of structured in that way. Like we're getting a lot of CRM stuff, a lot more than I thought we were going to get. And I think if the characters were a lot more likable, I think if the story was more focused on the characters, we would be getting a lot more of just that. But every episode or two, we're getting these huge tidbits of information, which is just keeping our interest here. So tonight's episode focused on a lot of character development stuff. And like I said, I thought it was pretty good. It's still not like Walking Dead standards in terms of enjoyment and, I guess, quality, but I thought it was pretty good. I think it just, for me, it is very hard to connect or even like these characters as much as I do with Walking Dead characters. It could be the age thing. I don't know if it's the age thing, just because it is hard to watch kids in an apocalypse, right? But there's something there, because I do have a very hard time relating. I think for some people, it might not be the case. I think for some people who are younger, and you could definitely post your thoughts down below. If you're around the age of 14, 15 to 17, 18, I think they're like 15 to 17 or something like that, right? If you're a teenager, basically, like, do you find them relatable at all? Can you connect with these characters? I apologize for the noise. I don't know why they're running upstairs right now. But do you guys find these characters relatable at all? And is it like, do you like the characters a lot? Because I don't know if it's necessarily an age thing or if it's a writing thing, or, you know what I mean? Because I'm also thinking of The Last of Us, and I apologize for bringing up The Last of Us, but I really liked Ellie, but I'm wondering if I really liked her more because of Joel, because Joel was there. I'm talking about the first game when she was like, how old was she? She was 12 or something, 14. I'm thinking the reason why it worked so well is because you had Joel, and he was like the father figure trying to teach this young girl. And we all viewed her as like this young girl who obviously swore and did all this shit. But I think that's why it worked, is because she wasn't the main character. That's not to say that kids and teenagers and stuff like that don't do well in movies and television shows. I've definitely watched shows where it can work, obviously. I just think there's something with The Walking Dead and the apocalypse and zombies where it doesn't really work. And I think it could just be related to The Walking Dead because of the rules that are set, right, with walkers, and how one learns how to kill a walker and do things like that. I think it really is that. Now, our characters were split up here. They were in 3 groups of 2. We had Felix and Elton together, and we learned that Elton's claustrophobic, and then Felix tries to talk to him into, I guess, turning around and says that they're not ready to be out here, which I would say he's totally right. The trailer for episode 5 shows that I think maybe Elton and Felix could be getting along better than we're thinking, because maybe Elton does want to go back. And so I'm actually interested in that for episode 5. I want to see if Elton is trying to go back, and if this is where we're going to start to see the group kind of fall apart, I guess. I mean, they're not like a tight-knit group like obviously Rick and Shane and their group were at the farm, because at that point they were together for a while. But I am wondering if some people are going to want to start to go back because it is just too scary. Some people want to keep continuing, and the group just falls apart and people start to hate each other. Silas and Iris talk about what high school life was once like, and that was kind of fun. It was cool to see that. And again, I think that's why it felt very much like The Last of Us, was because they were dancing, and that reminded me of The Last of Us 2, when Ellie and I think Dina was her name, they were dancing. I don't know why, it reminded me. It had the same vibes. Maybe it's because it was already in my head. Anyways, they bond, they're getting closer, so more character development there. And then we had Huck and Hope, and they're getting a little bit closer, but yeah, their stuff is pretty interesting. They did encounter a wolf, which I thought was pretty cool. I still don't buy the fact that they walked by it and the wolf didn't do anything, just because where I'm from, if you see a wolf, you stay away. Don't go anywhere near it at all. Like they will come at you. It depends sometimes, I guess, but I don't know. I think in a situation like that where it's starving, and if it is protecting its young and stuff, I don't really buy that. But whatever. I guess that's what happened, right? That was pretty terrifying though, and I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see like maybe coyotes or wolves and stuff like that on the show, and I want them to be more like wild though. Like, I know we got Shiva, but imagine if they came across a tiger or a lion like that just in the city, and it was running around and they had to hide in a building from it. That's terrifying. That's something that would be interesting. That's a good episode idea. So overall, I thought this episode was good. Nothing really happened, but I enjoyed some of the character stuff. And I guess that's really what I wanted to focus on in this review was, is it just me that's having a hard time connecting with these characters? And is it because of the age? Or is it because of the writing? Like, what is it specifically? A lot of people focus on the age thing. A lot of people say that it's hard. You have a hard time connecting with kids, and kids in the apocalypse, or at least on The Walking Dead, has never worked. And you can bring up so many examples of that. But I don't know if it's that. You know, I am enjoying the story a lot more. Tonight's episode was definitely better than 3, and 3 was better than 2. 1, I would say, was probably my favorite, just because it was just learning everything. I do prefer the ending scene to 3, and I have a feeling that episode 5, I will prefer a lot of the CRM testing stuff, so I might like that episode the best. But as of now, I would just say that the show is it's all right. You know, it's a good show. If you're interested in The Walking Dead anyways, if you're interested in the Rick Grimes movie, I think there's some enjoyment here. It's watchable. It's not bad like people are saying, at least in my opinion. And it's good that it's only 20 episodes. If this was going to be their new show, their new spinoff, like official spinoff, like Fear the Walking Dead, then I would be a little worried because these characters aren't that likable. But I shouldn't say likable. Like, they are likable. They're not like bad people. It's just they're not as interesting, I guess is the right word, right? Like, they're just not as interesting as Rick was, or as like Madison was in Fear the Walking Dead. So we'll have to see, we'll have to see where the show goes. But tonight's episode I thought was all right. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. So post all your thoughts down below. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? Make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.